How passionate are you about what you do? I don't need an answer. You deserve an answer for yourself. Now, when we look at the future and achieving success, which is basically what we were just talking about, we understand that this is the basic representation. You are here today, and your current reality in time is pretty much this one. Then you establish goals, and obviously your goals are higher up. So the second you establish a goal, it forces you to create a future reality. Sort of like a slope that you have to walk upwards on in order to reach that goal. What happens? I know that Florida doesn't have mountains, but whenever you walk up, you get tired quicker, right? Sometimes you fall. So the question is, how many times are you going to get up? And when and if you're going to give up before you get to those goals. But with that said, once this basic structure is created, it automatically creates a gap between your current reality and your future reality. And in that gap are things that we don't know how to take care of. We don't know how to work to help our kids, our youth, lead better lives and achieve better successes than we ourselves have been able to. And I'm going to be talking about a couple of things. I did promise 10 strategies for this seminar today, and here they are. Explore. Dig deep. If you want to achieve incredible levels of success, let me start by saying this. Still on the topic of passion. Not everyone that's passionate achieves amazing levels of success. Wouldn't you agree? Right? But everyone that achieves amazing levels of success are incredibly passionate about what they do. So that formula automatically forces me to think the group that is not achieving amazing levels of success, there's something that they're not doing. What are they missing? And in thinking about that, you've got to think about, well, maybe they have the passion, but they don't have the skills. Maybe they have the passion, but they don't dedicate the time to grow, to learn, to expose themselves. Maybe they don't know how to look out opportunities when they come by, to determine what are the best opportunities to take advantage of. There are many things to think about when you think in these terms. But exploration has to be the first step. Discovering what it is that you really like to do and understanding what it is that you're really amazing at doing. That even when others do it incredibly well, no one can do it as good as you. Or at least the same way that you would. Discovery. Obviously, discovery is a consequence of that exploration, right? Definition. Once you discover what it is that you're so amazingly at, how do you define it in a way that makes sense so that you can create something moving forward that will help you reach those goals? And by something, I mean something like a business plan, maybe, type of. Analyze. Make sure you think things through. There are skill sets that will definitely need to be developed, which is typically what college is there for. We just get to college without really having a clear direction of what we want to do, you know? Design. If you're passionate about it, you commit to it. And there's no secondary option. There's no plan B. If you really want it, you go get it. And no one will stand in your way. Then here comes the part that a lot of people hate, the planning. Because you know what? It's not as nice as discovering what you're good at. It's not as nice as the feely thing about, you know, well, this I really don't like this. Makes me want to dance a little bit. This actually brings chispa to my life and all that kind of stuff. When you plan, it's all black and white. It's pretty tedious. But still, planning is key if you really want to reach success. Then, needless to say, you put your plan in action. You develop yourself, You recognize your opportunities. You understand how you're growing. And the areas that you're not growing as you expected, you make sure you revisit and you tackle again. Last but not least, you hold yourself accountable. Every time you feel tired, you tell yourself, I got to keep going. Every time you hit a stone or an obstacle, you tell yourself, I got to keep going. You hold yourself accountable to make sure that you get to that goal. And last but not least, you always allow your passions to guide you, to be your compass. Now, who thinks that is a heck of a lot of things to be thinking about? Right? Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. If I would have been told at 17 I needed to do all those things, I would have said, you know what? Exactly. Yeah. So let me present to you the Passion and Future Project. And this is what all of this story that I have shared with you has culminated in. This is the work of 2.5 years. This is a program that actually takes all those 10 strategies and puts it in place for you. Through this program, what it's actually aimed at achieving is providing our youth for a greater chance at achieving tremendous success in life, because it teaches us the process of discovering what you guys are really amazing at and how to maximize those capabilities so that you can in turn be a Sir Richard Branson, be a Bill Gates, be a Steve Jobs, be anyone you want to be. One of the things that is critical that probably not every school system teaches it is 3 main things. And we learn the hard way about these 3 things when we join the workforce. One is empowerment, resilience, and last but not least, accountability. Those 3 things are built into the entire program from beginning to end. The bottom line is the program cannot guarantee anyone incredible success, because there is a lot about this road that the participants need to do in order to get there. But the program does deliver on walking you through all those steps, clarifying everything, and by the time you leave this program, you actually leave with a roadmap. You leave with a book. And if you're interested in looking at a sample, actually outside Rafael has on the table a couple of samples on what that would look like. And it's as interesting as once you finish the program, you carry that with you, and every time you have a doubt, you look into your book and you find exactly where you have to go. It's as simple as that. So it's almost, like my mom would say, stupid fruit. Now, looking at the program, what does it do? How is it built? There is an introduction, which is basically the first session, a 2-hour session with parents and youth. Then the exploration phase, and the exploration phase is exactly what we already explained. It walks us through exploring, discovering, and deciding. Then the decision phase merges into and from the exploration phase and takes us further into, now that we know, let's decide exactly what it is that we're going to do. And that walks us into the planning phase. How are we going to do it? And last but not least, accountability phase. Once everything is built, how do you move forward? How do you take this, your life, and you build the most amazing life that you can? Because someone once said, life is not to be lived. We're here to create our own lives. So when I think about all that, I think about, if I'm here to create my life, then that means that I am empowered to do what I want to do. And if that's the case, then a little bit of thinking, a lot of discovery and analyzing, and a little bit of planning should take me there if I can hold myself accountable to walk through the whole thing. So part of what we do at the end of the program is create something like this, where it shows us where we are, shows us where we want to go, where you guys want to go. And It discovers, determines, and ties to a timeline every milestone that needs to be hit so that you can achieve those goals. It doesn't really get much simpler than that. If you thought the 10 strategies would bug anybody down, and I couldn't agree more, we do that for you. That's exactly what we do. And by the time you leave, not only have you walked through it all and have an incredibly clear direction of where your reality wants to lead you, which will never be the same as anybody else's, but you will actually leave with a map that takes you there. And that is the Passionate Future Project.